They absolutely nailed that drive out of turn 14 and through turn 15, making that overtake stick and towards turn 16. We're back on the new section of asphalt that we got there. You can see it's much darker than before. That's what caught a few riders out yesterday. This first section, you can't, if it has rained, you can't see any damp patches because it's pretty much the same colour. No such problems today though with the dry weather. The tone of the race is starting to change, Fran. 5 laps to go, and it's looking a little bit more about jostling for position rather than pulling out a lead ahead even more from the 4th place, who are now 8 seconds back.
Yeah, they've pulled out that gap bit by bit, haven't they? And it's definitely a podium to lose for these guys. So hopefully we won't see any drama, and we'll get a nice clean shuffle to decide this race. But yeah, it's getting a little bit more frantic at the front, isn't it? Especially the number 21 of Ezawa and number 5 of Gunmie looking a little bit more elbows out, aggression, ready to really take it to each other. But we'll see how we get. Oh yeah, you see, just for once proving me right. Number 21, really different line there, but I think Mie's got it covered. He has indeed.
That was a cracking camera angle. We've not really seen that one before,
no,
have we? That was someone's clearly moved the cameraman up there. Here's a great slow-mo of turn 17, the final corner, that changeover onto the newer asphalt. We're watching Gunmie navigate his way through the final corner, knee down, scraping against the curbs there. They are a little bit raised, so you get a little bobble on, and perfectly in the bubble straight out of it. Here we go then, down towards turn 10 once again, and we've got Danish, who's right on the back of them now, looking to try and make some moves. No, it's not turn 10, got the camera angle confused again. It's out turn 14, that was. Looks pretty similar, but they've got, I think that's Akbar ahead of them. A back marker coming out. Yes, he's okay. He's let them through after his crash earlier on, thankfully.
Yeah, that's good stuff then from the wildcard. Good racecraft. Also important part of learning. But Danish then has picked another pocket and up into 2nd place. Maybe the Malaysian is ready to try and push and get in the battle at the front again, elbows out, because it was quite the Ezawa Mie show for a couple of laps there with the Malaysian just hanging back. But at the moment though, still nothing to decide between them, but we do have some long lap penalties that have just come up on the timing screen. Yeah, unfortunately your podium finisher from yesterday, Fadilla, is going to have to go through the long lap penalty lane. He's currently in 6th position. Then we've also got one for number 19, that's Hafi, the Malaysian, who's down in 14th place, just behind Puetizan, about 2 tenths behind the Thai rider. Will also have to go through a long lap penalty. This is why we say you got to avoid not just, well, the green. You can't be taking shortcuts like we saw Danish do at this exact point in the circuit, well, about half the race ago now. Yeah, it was a while ago now. The number 13's kept it nice and tidy since those few little mistakes he had. But yeah, certainly it's going to be a painful one as well, with not much time left in the race to try and get back on terms with the riders you're fighting at the moment. That long lap penalty is going to certainly put a dent in Fadilla's finishing position and Hafi as well. Wow. So we'll see, but so far so good for the front runners. I think Danish was obviously just making a couple of errors rather than trying to be too cheeky. Well, he nearly made another one there. Yeah, he did indeed. Turn 12, he had a big twitch going through there. We saw a few MotoGP riders go down at that point on the circuit yesterday. Lost a bit of ground, a bit of drive out of turn 14 into this 15-16 sort of combined corner that they've got. So inviting for an overtake. I'll be fascinated to see, and I'm sure plenty of Moto3 riders in the World Championship will be eager to see what sort of overtaking moves are made into that section, how the race is won exactly, because there are a variety of options that you've got in that final section. There are indeed. So here we go then. There's 3 more after this one, but Gunmie then moving to try and take the lead, but no, Danish then keeping it nice and tidy, the number 13. He leads once again. There you can see the confirmation of the long laps for Fadilla and Hafi, but and we've still got a group of 4 battling here then. I think that's the Adaki-led battle for 2nd. Correct. So the yellow helmet of Wakamatsu, which is always a dead giveaway. But yeah, there we go, number 14. Fadilla, wow. There we go. God, that was like a late decision. Mistake. Yeah. Goodness. So through he goes, and unfortunately that is his battle for 4th pretty much over and done with. 3 laps to go. Ain't no chance with this sort of pace. So he will be going for that. And who was that? That was Mie, who nearly did the full Carter Thompson from yesterday. You've got to be so careful with your line choice there, but he won't get penalised for that, because
Well, unfortunately, he's lost so much time already. Can he get settled once again, though? Because he's not actually lost that much ground.
He's not lost as much as you'd think, given that he even had his hand in the air like, I'm off here, I'm off. But nicely saved then from the number 5, a little bit dramatic. Is this a replay already?
He just went wide. You
just a little bit offline.
Wide, like just a little bit, a metre or so, and you are nearly over the bars.
The presence of mind to raise your hand in that situation as well always blows my mind.
Everything goes in slow motion at that sort of speed.
I'd still just be panicking and maybe just lightly screaming to myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, nicely saved then from the number 5. I'm sure he's had a bit of a spike of adrenaline from that. Let's see if he can just settle back down and tag back onto the back of this duo. At the moment though, Danish with a couple of metres in hand behind him, but it can all change so quickly in the AsianTalent Cup. Yeah, let's see if Ezawa can get back on terms with him.
You talk about a little adrenaline spike. I think that would have been the same for Ezawa, who had a grandstand view of Mie's near error there. So he's chasing back on to Hakim Danish at the moment. Just needs to get settled. The gap as they came across the line was 0.4 of a second. Not much if he manages to get this next section nailed. We're in towards turn 2, turn 3. The difference in line choices between these two here. This is really crucial to nail your run out onto the flat out section of turn 4. It's about full throttle from now, and they do it all the way towards turn 10. So line choice is key at this moment.
It is, and I think, don't want to call it too early, but I think Mie is going to be out of this fight for the win at the moment. Japanese rider may be saying, you know what, after a crash yesterday, 16 points is pretty grande for me today, because these two really starting to pull out some ground now.
Yeah, I got to say, I think that was another mistake from Danish. His line choice wasn't nailed, and he just let Ezawa catch right onto the back of him once again, so that little advantage that he had is well and truly gone. So we've got a proper battle royale on this penultimate lap of round 2 in the AsianTalent Cup. Mie, well, he's about...
Maybe I called it too soon.
9/10 of a second, he's closing in again, but will it be fast enough? That's the big question for the Japanese rider.
This is the thing, you've got to arrive on the scene and then have time to make that move as well. Danish again.
Another 10th for Mie, so he's catching, he's going for it, he's giving it absolutely everything.
Yeah, it really looked like he just dropped off the back of them quite significantly in the first part of that lap, but no, he's coming, isn't he, the number 5, gunning for glory here. I'm sorry, sometimes you've got to do it.
He's shooting for first position.
He is indeed, and a big mistake there from Ezawa.
His countryman, well, goes so wide, he's back on towards P2. Ezawa gives a little shake of the head. He's frustrated with himself. Does that leave Danish, as we head on to this last lap, in prime position to take second win here in Mandalika?
I think it may well do. Just the Malaysian needs to realise that he is alone at the front. Keep it nice and tidy, the number 13 now, because we have seen him in the green a few times. But yeah, big mistake from Ezawa then. Not too much harm done, is that he's still in this podium battle, but he's also lost out on that second position. So we've got an all-Japanese duel for second here.
Let's look at the intermediates as they come out of section 1. So Mie is 9/10 of a second adrift from Danish. What about when they come through these sort of sections, they get towards intermediate 2? What will the gap be then? Danish doesn't have great line choice characteristically through here, but I think that time, when he needed to most, he absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, I think he did indeed. So, they're not that far behind, are they? The number 13, any little tiny mistake
now, so that's 0.15 of a second.
That's incredible, isn't it? You can see them visually getting closer and closer. I don't know if they're going to have enough time, though, to really make an attack. We will have to see. At the moment, though, Mie hanging on to that second place, and the number 5 really giving it everything to try and be in this fight for the win.
Look what this will do for the championship, though. 1 point will be separating Hakim Danish, who will take the lead from Ezawa. If it stays like this, Mie, time is running out for him. I think it is too late. It looks like Ezawa has settled for 3rd place. Tranduk Tai has gone down at turn 16. That was a lap ago. These are the final corners. I think it's going to be glory for Danish once again here for the Malaysian. Just one more corner to go. It's too little too late for Mie, but still a second place will be sensational. Out the final corner the Malaysian comes. It's going to be glory once again for the number 13 from Mie, and then Ezawa takes the podium. What a race that was once again here in Indonesia.
That was .272 in the end for Gunmie.
Goodness
Absolutely
me.
incredible. And here's that second group then fighting for 4th place in the end. Adaki held onto that from Wakamatsu. Another solid job from the number 2 to move through the field. Carter Thompson, some nice good points there in 6th place. And yeah, Raycat Fadilla then after that long lap penalty 7th. Hamad Al Salhuti once again moving through the field into 8th. And True Hardika and Hafui completing the top 10 there as well.
Goodness me, what a great little array of results. Lovely but show of sportsmanship from Danish.